Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Puri Rajakacharya Ashtotar Satashri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mayi Ki Jai Jamuna Mayi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Everyone, to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Thursday, May 8th, and today we're starting with Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-lila 1385, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Maybe I'll read.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amar Hridoy Hoite Gela Tomar Hridoy. Hena Bhuchi Ron Mi Bain Kon Mahashoy. From my heart. Now, let's see. In the previous verse, he said, I saw wonderfully brilliant human beings appearing in outer space as if offering prayers. And the Jagat Mishra said, I saw the effulgent abode of the Lord enter my heart. Now, he says, from my heart it entered your heart. I therefore understand that a great personality will soon take birth. Now, let's see. That's it. That moves on. That's further. So let me get backwards. Is that right? Hold on. That's backwards.
I believe we were on that big purport in 86.
Yes, we were in purport 2.
The transference of the Lord.
Yeah, and that's text 86.
That's right, Maharaj. Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay, now I see. So I understand that from my heart, that golden form entered your heart. I therefore understand that a great personality will soon take birth. Eto boli duhe rohe, poroshita ha, shala grama, sheba kore, vishesh korea. After this conversation, both husband and wife were very jubilant, and together they rendered service to the household Shalagram Shila. Now, from there, we went to the middle of the purport. We talked about the Shalagram Shila, the transference of the Lord from the heart of Jagannath Mishra to the heart of Shochi Mata is explained by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as follows. It is to be concluded that Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata are Nitya Siddhas, ever pure associates of the Lord. Their hearts are always uncontaminated, and therefore they never forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A common man in this material world has a contaminated heart. He must therefore purify his heart to come to the transcendental position. But Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata were not a common man and woman with contaminated hearts. When the heart is uncontaminated, it is said to be in the existential position of Vasudeva. Vasudeva can beget Vasudeva or Krishna, who is transcendentally situated. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Sadakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dapati Shapadantika. Ande Hang Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Sam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Sri Radha Krishna Padan, Sahagana Lalita, Sri Vishakandita. Hey Krishna Koruna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Krisha Bhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hori Priye. Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Yevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So there's a fairly, well, the first thing is that Shachimata and Jagannath Mishra were transcendental Nitya Siddhas, Nitya Siddha Korimone. And so the process by which the Lord was born was a transference of pure consciousness. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. The state of pure consciousness is known as Vasudeva. So they were both in pure consciousness. And it's said here that the form of the Lord was transferred from the heart of uncontaminated heart of Jagannath Mishra to the uncontaminated heart of Shachi Devi. Our hearts are contaminated: Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. These are all contaminations of the heart, or the bodily concepts of life. But Vasudeva, Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata were beyond all that. They're pure associates of the Lord. They didn't have to purify their hearts. They were pure by nature. It is to be understood that Shachi Devi did not become pregnant as an ordinary woman becomes pregnant because of sense indulgence. One should not think the pregnancy of Shachi Mata to be that of an ordinary woman, because that is an offense. One can understand the pregnancy of Shachi Mata when one is actually advanced in spiritual consciousness and fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Janma Karma Chame Divya, the Lord's activities and his birth are always transcendental. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Bhagavan api Vishvatma Bhaktanam Abhayam Kara Aviveshanksha Bhagena Mana Anakadundubhe. This is a statement regarding the birth of Lord Krishna. The incarnation of the Lord entered the mind of Vasudeva and was then transferred to the mind of Devaki. Srila Sridhar Swami gives the following annotation in this connection. Mana avivesha, manasya avirpapuva, jivanam eva, nadhatu sambanta iti artha. Nadhatu sambandha iti artha. There was no question of the seminal discharge necessary for the birth of an ordinary human being. Srila Rupa Goswami also comments in this connection that Lord Krishna first appeared in the mind of Anakadundabi, Vasudeva, and was then transferred to the mind of Devaki. Thus, the spiritual bliss in the mind of Devaki Devi gradually increased, just as the moon increases every night until it becomes a full moon. We read in Bhagavatam how Devaki became more and more beautiful, Kamsa became convinced that something extraordinary must be going on. He'd never seen his sister so beautiful. So, because Krishna was present, and in her mind, and her spiritual bliss was increasing. At the time of his appearance, Lord Krishna came out of the mind of Devaki and appeared within the prison house of Kamsa, by the side of Devaki's bed. At that time, by the spell of Yogamaya, Devaki thought that her child had been now been born. In the Bhagavatam also it said, Jayati Jandini Vaso, Devaki Janma Vado. Vada means said. Devaki Janma, Janani Vas, the personality of Godhead, who lives within everyone, or within whom everyone lives, is said to be the son of Devaki. So then the Acharyas comment, yes, she's said to be the son of Devaki, but she's not the son of he's not the son of Devaki, because he's not Janma. Said to be the son, not, let's be more precise, Devaki Janmavada, he's said to be born of Devaki. But the Acharyas say, no, he's not born. He's known as Aja, unborn. Ajopi, son of Yayadva, and Bhutana Mishuropi, son. So he's not born like an ordinary human being, but by the influence of Yogamaya, he appears to be born like an ordinary human being. Actually, his appears transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to the mind of Devaki, and then he appears in the prison house of Kamsa, and Devaki thinks, yes, he's born of me, but that's not quite true. Commentators also said Devaki Janmavadi, said to be the son of Devaki, actually is the son of Yashoda, because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda Devi. So then, in this connection, even the demigods from the celestial kingdom were also bewildered. As it is stated, Muhyanti Surya, they came to offer their prayers to Devaki, thinking that the Supreme Lord was within her womb. The demigods came to Mathura from their celestial kingdom. This indicates that Mathura is still more important than the celestial kingdom of the upper planetary system. So that's the first thing, that Mathura is divine. It's not simply another mundane place of this world. It's still above the heavenly kingdom, but it appears before our vision as if a place of this world. But more to the point, they came to prayers to Lord Krishna by the prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna within the womb. That's the chapter of the title in the Krishna book. But here it's indicated, no, he wasn't in the womb. He was in the mind of Devaki. Then why were the demigods offering prayers to Lord Krishna in the womb? Muhyanti at Surya, even the demigods get bewildered. So they thought, oh, Mother Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has appeared within your womb. But no, Muhyanti, they were all bewildered. Actually, she was within the mind of Devaki, or the heart of Devaki. Heart and mind to get used with some interchangeability. Or these two views can be taken, the heart and mind. Lord Krishna, as the eternal son of Yashoda Mai, is always present in Vrindavan. The pastimes of Lord Krishna are continuously going on within both this material world and the spiritual world. In such pastimes, the Lord always thinks himself the eternal son of Mother Yashoda and Father Nanda Maharaj. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, verse 33, it is stated, when magnanimous, broad-hearted Nanda Maharaj came back from a tour, he immediately took his son Krishna on his lap and experienced transcendental bliss by smelling his head. Similarly, in the 10th canto, 9th chapter, verse 21, it is said, this personality of Godhead, appearing as the son of a cowherd damsel, is easily available and understandable to devotees, whereas those who are under the concept of bodily life, even though they are very much advanced in austerity and penance, or even though they are great philosophers, are unable to understand him. So here again, this is Devaki Janmavada. He's said to be born of Devaki, but he's actually the son of Yashoda. I've quoted in the Kirtan book that Ayagriva and maybe others were chanting Devaki Nandana Gopala, 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 Devaki Nandana Gopala. And Prabhupada said, why Devaki Nandana should be Yashoda Nandana. Krishna is the son of Yashoda. But then he said, anyway, this is not our mantra. Don't chant it at all. But if you're all at all going to chant it, then it should be Devaki, Yashoda, because that's also there. Krishna, after killing Kamsa, no. Maybe later, he acknowledged to Nanda Yashoda that you are actual parents. You're our actual parents. Because we were raised by you when we had no one. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur next quotes Sripad Baldev Vijabhushan, who refers to the prayers offered by the demigods to Lord Krishna in the womb of Devaki, and summarizes the birth of Krishna as follows. As the rising moon manifests light in the east, so Devaki, who was always situated on the transcendental platform, having been initiated in the Krishna mantra by Vasudeva, son of Shurasena, kept Krishna within her heart. From this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having been transferred from the heart of Anakadundabi, or Vasudeva, manifested himself in the heart of Devaki. So we read he was in the mind of Vasudeva and transferred to the mind of Devaki. Here we read from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki. Not much difference. According to Srila Baladev Vijabhushan, the heart of Devaki means the womb of Devaki. Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, the demigods say, Dishyambate Shigata Para Puman. Mother Devaki, the Lord is already within your womb. Therefore, that the Lord was transferred from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki means that he was transferred to the womb of Devaki. So it appears that Srila Baladev Vijabhushan takes this differently, that previously we read that he wasn't in the womb. The demigods were bewildered. They thought that he was in the womb. He was in the heart or in the mind. But now we see, yes, he was in the womb, because after all, the demigods said he was in the womb. So these are different ways of reading the text. Similarly, in regard to the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the point, as described in the Caitanya Charitamrita, the words Visheshe Sebon Kore Govinda Choron, they specifically began to worship the lotus feet of Govinda, indicate that exactly as Krishna appeared in the heart of Devaki through the heart of Vasudeva, so Lord Chaitanya appeared in the heart of Shachi Devi through the heart of Jagannath Mishra. This is the mystery of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Consequently, one should not think of Lord Chaitanya's appearance as that of a common man or living entity. This subject matter is a little difficult to understand, but for devotees of the Lord, it will not at all be difficult to realize the statements given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The summary is that the Lord's appearance is transcendental, Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, and he appears, the pregnancy of Devaki is brought about by the transference from the pure consciousness of Jagannath Mishra or Vasudeva to the pure consciousness of Shachi Devi or Devaki. The appearance of a mundane birth is superficial or not actually real. All right, any questions, comments?
Lord Krishna appears, and does he first always send his eternal representatives to then appear in their heart?
Yes, this is the Lord's, when the Lord appears, does he always first send his representatives so that he can take birth in this way? And yes, we find that here in Caitanya Charitamrita that's discussed, that before the Lord appears, he sends his seniors. So here he sent Jagannath Mishra, he sent Sati Devi, he sent Advaita Acharya, so that the Advaita Acharya could pray for the Lord to appear. By the Lord's own arrangement, he sends Advaita Acharya, you go and pray for my appearance. Similarly, in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, senior personalities appear first, like Bhishma Dev, Nanda Yashoda, Devaki and Vasudeva, and others. They appear first, and then Lord Krishna appears. Something like in a drama, where some characters have to appear first, then the main protagonist may appear. The drama may be written like that. So that's, yes, the Lord Krishna always does that. When he appears as Vaman Dev, first he sends Aditi and Kashyap, they can be his parents, and so on. Yes. Yes.
You mentioned that Advaita Acharya gets sent, but it seems that Advaita Acharya is the reason that Chaitanya will come.
Yes.
So what's happening there?
It appears that Advaita Acharya is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. But we say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sends him. So the Lord sends him. Now you go down and become the reason why I come. You go down and pray for me to appear. What is that? Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. So even though it appears that Lord Chaitanya is coming because Advaita Acharya is praying for him, it's because of Lord Chaitanya that Advaita Acharya goes and prays. So finally, Krishna is the origin of everything. Is that okay? Akendra Prabhu.
Jai Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
2 points came to me. Let's see whether you might want to address them. The first was, I found it very charming here in today's purport, where it says that, I'll paraphrase for the sake of speed, that Krishna's self-concept is that he's the son of Mother Yashoda.
Yes. Yes. This is wonderful. Therefore, Devaki Janmavada, he appears to be born of Devaki, but the deeper relationship is with Nanda Yashoda, and he thinks of them as his real parents. I've quoted that he said to Nanda Yashoda very feelingly, when there was no one there to take care of us, somehow we were given up by our parents and brought to you, and you brought us up, you took care of us. So you're our real parents. You're our real parents. The relationship, after all, is formed not because of some bodily consideration, but because of love in a particular mood. In the spiritual world, there's not even the pastime of birth. Here in this world, the pastime of birth is enacted just to keep pace with the way things work here. Just to keep pace with the way things work here, Krishna performs the pastime of having taken birth. And that also is very mysterious, exactly what's going on. But the pastime is there, that he appears to be born in the prison house of Kamsa. But in the spiritual world, that pastime isn't even performed, because there's no birth in the spiritual world, no need. So the eternal relationship between, here in this world, the relationship is formed between parents and children because of birth. The seed is given by the father, injected into the womb of the mother, and then after 9 months, there's birth. And then they write on the birth certificate, son of such and such, daughter of such and such. And the parents think that this child was born of us. So that's how the relationship is established. In the animal kingdom, the child is born of a particular monkey or a bird or whatever. And then they immediately have affection. This is my child. Actually, we know that the living being also is unborn. Ajo nitya shashvatovya. For the soul, najayate mriyate va, there's no birth or death. So it's also by illusion that the living entities think this is my child. They think this is my child, not your child. The child is eternal, not a product of your pregnancy or your process of begetting. The child is eternal, but he appears to be your child. And you're taking it as a fact. This is my child. So in the spiritual relationship between Krishna and his parents, the relationship is not established by dint of some physical process. The relationship is established eternally because of the loving dealings between the Lord and his devotees. So the Lord plays as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. When the Vasudeva was present at the sacrifices were going on, performed by the great sages that must Kurukshetra, then there's some discussion that Krishna Vasudeva. Some discussion, or was it Nanda Maharaj? That chapter we'd have to look back at. Anyway, they were, Nanda Maharaj, I think, No, Vasudeva, I think we'd have to look back at that Krishna book chapter. Even if you have a phone, you can take a look. Sacrificial ceremonies performed by,
I believe it's Vasudev Maharaj.
I think so, by Vasudev. Yeah, just remembering the chapter title. I'm remembering. I'm being influenced. I'm thinking, no, wait a second. Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj. But no, it's Vasudev. So Vasudev is performing sacrifices, and he's acknowledging that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and Krishna is speaking also. He's explained that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so that's all established, that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But no, he's my son. It goes on like that. First he's thinking you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he's thinking, no, you're my son. The same thing happens at Krishna's appearance in Kamsa's prison. He appears as four-handed Vishnu, and his parents are struck with wonder. But the parents are afraid that, all right, you're Vishnu, but Kamsa may come to kill you. So they should know better, but by the influence of Yogamaya, already they're thinking that he's our son. Already the parental affection is there on the part of Devaki, that all right, you may be born with Shankha Gada, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, with a helmet, with all of these things, but Kamsa made it come to kill you, the way he's killed all my other sons. So now he'll come to kill you. So you have to do something. So in this way, Yogamaya acts. So even though she explained to Devaki and Vasudeva that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that parental affection is so strong that they're thinking, no, he's our son, and we have to protect him from Kamsa. Where's the question of protecting him from Kamsa? Kamsa's the one who should be running. But they're thinking that Kamsa may kill the child. What will we do? So then Vasudeva brings him to Mathura, to Vrindavan. So similarly, Yashodamai is thinking that Krishna is my son. Sometimes it's manifest. Krishna shows the everything within his mouth. He's playing, eating dirt, and his friends tattle on him. And then he, all right, let me see. You say you haven't, I'm not eating earth. So let's see. And she looks and sees everything's there in the mouth of Krishna. Even she's present in the mouth of Krishna, everything, all the Vrindavan, all the cosmos. All right, stop this nonsense. Don't eat earth again. So this is all possible by Yogama. Otherwise, how do we explain it? Is she crazy, or what's going on? No, this is the influence of Yogamaya. And how is it, why is it manifest like this? Because of love. And Yashodamai is the paragon of maternal affection. No one exceeds Yashodamai in maternal affection for Krishna. So even when Krishna was out playing with the boys and they were having a good time, then Rohini called Krishna, Krishna Balaram, that your boys, please come. It's time for your lunch. It's time for lunch. Just like boys are playing and the mother calls, come for lunch, come for lunch. It's time for lunch. So she's calling and calling, but then Krishna's having a good time. He doesn't want to come. He wants to stay out there in the forest playing with the boys. That's also affection. He had to, who are these boys? They're, by the grace of the Lord, they've become his eternal associates because of love for him. So Krishna wants to keep playing, but then Rohini is calling him. So he starts to go back. Then the boys are saying, no, we what is this? Our playing's just reaching its height. So Rohini calls Yashoda Mai. I can't get him to come back. He's not coming back. You call him. So Yashoda Mai calls Krishna. And then still Krishna's not coming because his friends threaten him that if you go now, we'll never play with you again. Our playing is just reaching its height. So if you go now, we'll never play with you again. Our children threaten like that. I'll never be your friend anymore if you do this. So here, if you leave now, because they want to keep Krishna, if you leave now, we won't play with you again. So now Krishna is afraid that if I go back home now, my friends won't play with me. So then Yashoda Mai gets stern. Krishna, do you think you're a street boy? You don't have any home? Come back home. And besides, your father, Nanda Maharaj, can't begin his meal unless you're back. So come back. So then Krishna, hearing that Nanda Maharaj won't eat, then he thinks, no, I have to go back. Then he goes back and takes his lunch. So the parental affection of Nanda and Yashoda is stronger, more intense than that of Vasudeva and Devaki. And specifically, the affection of Yashoda Mai is considered the topmost. Even in this material world, the affection between children and parents is just naturally strong by the arrangement of material nature. Although in what would we say, in the lower modes of nature, it's sometimes just lost. Our modern thing, modern social thing. We don't. What's the word? We become callous to all that our parents have done for us. We disregard them, or our own individual adventure is more important than anything to do with our parents. But but it's not always like that in what would you say, more civilized cultures, which means cultures of former days. And in Vedic culture, still the love between the parents and the children is so strongly felt and acknowledged, and so much respect and affection is there. So this is all just a dim reflection of the eternal loving relationship between Krishna and his parents in the spiritual world, and especially between Krishna and Nanda Yashoda. So thank you again.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Maharaj, you mentioned by the grace of Krishna, those cowherd boys became his eternal associates.
Yeah, I mentioned that by the grace of Krishna, they became eternal associates. That's said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krita Punya Punja, after amassing heaps of pious activities. These cowherd boys are playing with the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as if he were their friend. So that statement is there, and it would be interesting to see how the Acharyas comment on that. Krita Punya Punja. after I would hazard that the appearance of um, so many births, because we hear that a similar thing in relation to Krishna becoming the son of Prishni and Sutapa, how they underwent austerities for so many years, hundreds of years or thousands of years, to get Krishna as their son. So the acharyas have commented that this is Krishna's pastime. That actually these Prishni and Sutapa are the, or that, what would we say, plenary portions of Krishna's real parents appear within or appear as Prishni and Sutapa. So this pastime is manifest of undergoing, these demigods undergo great austerity, they get Krishna as their son. But actually Krishna is the eternal son of Nanda Yashoda or Vasudeva and Devaki.
How is that friendship similar or different to friendship in this world?
How is the friendship similar or similar to or different from friendship in this world? Well, the friendship in this world breaks. Either it's broken by misunderstanding or change of heart, or it's broken by death. You may be my friend in this life, my enemy in the next life, or you may be my friend in this life and totally forgotten in the next life. So that friendship, even the dearest friendship, is temporary. And it's superficial also because it has to do with the modes of nature, because you have a similar mentality, so we become friends, or because there's some sort of relationship in terms of the circumstances. You're living next door, I'm living next door, we become friends. If you were 10 years older, we wouldn't have been friends. Or 10 years younger, we wouldn't have been friends. So the friendship takes place because of material circumstances. By some, the Bhagavatam says, just as some stuff in the sea sort of winds up floating together for a while. So we're combined as friends, as family members, and then the stuff floats apart and the relationship is broken. So it's basically on the basis of the material embodiment that we become friends or enemies or family members. But in the spiritual world, the relationship is not on the basis of the body, it's on the eternal relationship of soul to soul or soul to the Supreme Soul. So it's so the friendship we get in the material world is just the dim reflection of the friendship in the spiritual world. And the friendship here is also self-motivated. You know, our friends become our enemies when my interest in sense gratification changes. You know, I become your friend because you have a swimming pool and I don't, or because, you know, some other such thing. My self-interest is served in some way by the friendship. But if my self-interest is crossed, if it goes against my self-interest, you are never my friend, you are just pretending to be my friend. We break the friendship because my sense gratification is threatened or not served. So all the relationships in the material world, they're contingent or they're affected by sense gratification. Or even if I'm your loyal lifetime friend, nothing can break our friendship. They may torture me, they may, whatever may happen, you're my friend. But then death comes and friendship finished. but the friendship of Krishna and the cowherd boys in the spiritual world, that friendship is never broken. Then it never comes to be. It's always existing and it's never broken. And then Akendra Prabhu was there.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. At the end of the purport, Prabhupada says the subject matter is a little difficult to understand, but for devotees of the Lord, it will not at all be difficult to realize the statements given by Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Prabhupada spends considerable time in the purport talking about the differences in opinion, even of the great acharyas. He appeared in the mind, he appeared in the heart. There's the heart the same as or different from the mind. The word in the Bengali is kukshi, which means belly, and then there's the whole question of, did he appear in the heart or the mind? And then was it transferred? Certainly wasn't transferred the normal way. And all these things, conspire to confuse one. But I think of Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir, that if you just simply accept these words, they're true on faith in the Guru Parampara system, then you can get it. If you try to wrangle too much mentally, you will not get it. But he says, devotees of the Lord, it will not at all be difficult to realize the statements. In other words, you'll be able to get it if you're part of that system.
And also, as you said, certainly it wasn't an ordinary birth. And that's the point. Even if we may have a difference of opinion, was it the womb, was it the heart, was it the mind? We understand that it wasn't birth as we know it. It wasn't birth that we encounter in this material world. It was something divine, something transcendental. So Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. If just someone understands that my janma and my karma are divya. Prabhupada said, I was hearing today maybe, just by a slight understanding of Krishna, one goes back to Godhead. Because no one can fully understand Krishna. When we understand Krishna perfectly, and then he expands himself. He expands his existence potency further. And now the knowledge potency is not sufficient. We understood, but now he grew. At every moment, that's happening. Krishna is expanding. So just when we thought we knew Krishna, now he's more than he was. And now my knowledge is insufficient. So the knowledge expands again, and the same thing goes on. So no one will understand Krishna fully. That's not possible. But if we understand this point, and therefore Prabhupada's making it again and again, Janma karma cha me divyam, me divyam, my appearance is transcendental. Don't think that I'm an ordinary human being. Avajananti mamuta manashim tanam parampavam ajananta. One has to know the parampava, the transcendental nature of Krishna's existence. Mamabhuta Maheshwara, he's the supreme controller of everything. That's Krishna consciousness. That's knowledge of Krishna. So that will understand the fullness of everything in complete detail. We're not the ones who can understand that. That's only Krishna himself. And even Krishna himself sometimes gets awed by his own potency. So overwhelmed even by his own potency. So what will we understand? But at least if we're on the right track, as it said, if we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yomam evam asamurto, janati purushottama, sasarvavid. If someone simply knows that Krishna is Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he knows everything. Krishna says, all right, he knows everything. Why? He knows that I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And bhajati mam sarvabhav, and therefore he engages in my service full-heartedly. So if that's there, that's sufficient, or more than sufficient. Hare Krishna.
Now it's a good time to pause with your time. Philip, are you able to?
It might be a little phlegmy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Philip's voice is a little under the weather.
Okay, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, are you able to? Lead Kirtan?
Looks like it might be you.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I Om Vishnuvad Paramahansa Pariprajakacharya Ashto Dhrutasri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Sridhar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navdeep Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Rangamai Ki Jai Jamanamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. So thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Hare Krishna.
Jai Maharaj. Thank you, Ross Prabhu.